Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Camilla Carrara, Project Coordinator C.L.A.S.S. I'm really pleased to welcome you all today for the fourth session of C.L.A.S.S Smart Voices 2022 program, Nature to the Next Level. The session will last approximately 1 hour, of which 50 minutes conversation moderated by C.L.A.S.S CEO and founder Giusy Bettoni, and 10 minutes for a Q&A session. Now, I'm extremely pleased to present our today's speakers. Giusy Bettoni, CEO and founder of C.L.A.S.S, Yannis Tzortzis, Supreme Green Cotton Ambassador, Business Sustainability and Branding Coach, Gabriele Gabriele, Head of Marketing Albini Group, Stefano Babbini, CEO at SQIM, Technology Holding of MOGU and EPHEA, Goulet, Global Director of PANGAIA Science. Enjoy your vision.
Thank you very much, Camilla, and welcome to everybody. Christine, Yannis, Gabriele, Stefano, really thanks for having accepted this moment of information from C.L.A.S.S, and extremely pleased to talk about a subject that is very important for us, that is nature to the next level. So according to Andy Warhol, nature has always been the best art, and how we cannot agree with this kind of view. But, even if we are completely aligned, when it comes to responsible innovation or innovate in a responsible way, let's put as you like, we know that we are opening up a new generation of values that go over, including not only the material, but transparency, traceability, and ethical values that has a lot to do with the whole picture. So if this is true, then our today guest will represent the vanguard, the avant-garde of these new eco-high-tech, natural materials. So welcome to Supreme Green Cotton, to Albini Group, SQIM, and PANGAIA Science. Their advanced technologies and processes are enhancing the value and performances of natural resources. And let's see how. So, Yannis Tzortzis, let's start from you. Welcome. Hope everything is fine. I know what we are under a hot cloud, all of us, Greece included, I believe.
Exactly.
So, Gianni started his career in textile as a member of the production team at Varvaressos, the spinner that is, taking care of about Supreme Green Cotton. His passion for communication, education, and sustainable innovation led him to be the sales and marketing department of Varvaressos, where he was also appointed PR manager for, Supreme Green Cotton. You are also the owner today of something really important, because sharing knowledge means coaching as well. So, you provide the business and executive coaching services. And today, welcome here, because let's talk about, apparently, there is nothing as simple as natural as cotton, but we know that this is not fully true sometimes. What is Supreme Green Cotton? Can you share with us?
Of course, before sharing with you, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you, Giusy, and everybody in class for organizing this wonderful event and letting all of us participate and share all of our thoughts and input in regards to taking nature to the next level, the nature values to the next level. About Supreme Green Cotton, it is a smart system of solutions for the whole textile production and supply chain. And it was created in order to equally address the three main pillars of sustainability, which are the environmental one, of course, the social and ethical one, and the pillar of economic viability, which is also the one that most people are forgetting to address also nowadays. And furthermore, it is a chain of values. It is based on trust, partnership, and synergy. And it focuses on quality and responsibility, utilizing science and cutting-edge technology. This leads to a holistic approach like the one from our ancient Greek ancestors, like Aristotle, starting from the supreme green cotton non-genetically modified seeds up to the high quality end products. And of course, everything is performed 100% in the European Union under the umbrella of complete transparency and traceability. It started as Varvaressos being, the connecting link as a spinning mill between the cotton production, the cotton producers, the farmers, engineers, and the rest of the manufacturing processes. Varvaressos chose the challenging path of creating the unique supreme green cotton system of solutions from scratch. After a lot of research, education, trial and error, investments, time, efforts, and of course with a collaboration and assistance of several partners in the production and supply chain, and also research institutes, agronomists, implementation and certification bodies, and of course C.L.A.S.S that shares the same values, mentality, and passion. The innovative Supreme Green Cotton Smart System was created and evolved.
And okay, you took us through about the key, let's say, values around the system, because it's a system, it's not just a cotton and a new generation of system. But why Supreme Green Cotton represent the next level of natural values and where we can find it as well?
Of course, Supreme Green Cotton is indeed a unique system, a sophisticated system of solutions that is taking nature values to the next level. It combines years of tradition and know-how and heritage with innovation, creation and utilization of cutting-edge technology, science, and next generation tools in order to achieve the best possible outcome. Starting from the carefully selected and controlled Supreme Green Cotton non-GMO seeds, which are planted in Greek family, which are planted in Greek family farms on the foot of Mount Olympus, the mountain of the ancient mighty Greek gods, and then cultivated via sustainable and responsible practices, such as smart precision farming via drip irrigation and atmospheric weather stations and sensors, integrated pest management systems, crop rotations, minimal tillage, and many more by Greek family farms, then to the separate careful ginning of the long staple and also extra long staple fibers with its platinum variant, just a little hint here, to the spinning in the state-of-the-art premises, the knitting or weaving and dyeing and finishing of high quality end products. From seed to yarn, there is a total of 193 kilometers of transportation in total, leading to a drastic reduction of the CO2 footprint. And of course, all the other processes are also taking place in the European Union, reinforcing this unique advantage. But all of what we're saying now would mean nothing if we could not provide complete transparency and traceability. This is what we also always discuss together, Giusy. And this is why we developed the proprietary Diaphania SI platform. Diaphania, by the way, is the ancient Greek word, of course, for transparency, which is powered and secured via specialized blockchain technology. So we can have each and every production step and process secured by blockchain, and also gather data that we then imprint on the Supreme Green Cotton labels, the hang tags, with a user-friendly QR code where the end consumers can just scan, with a simple scan from their smartphones, they can follow the path of the whole production and supply chain of the high quality end product that they just purchased. And of course, we made sure to cover a large array of applications and end users with our esteemed partners in Supreme Green Cotton, from raw white and dyed yarns to knitted and woven fabrics, and finally, high quality end products and garments.
So you touch all the points, the key critical point when it comes to natural material and especially cotton. So we can talk about the non-GMO, but we talk about water, we talk about CO2, we talk about the quality of the yarn, because we talk about the kind of title that you can get, and the fact that, and this is something that we need to take into consideration. So we need to come and visit you.
Exactly.
Now that we can,
exactly.
Can see with our eyes and European field of cotton, because we are so used to, imagine and visualize a completely different, scenario.
Of course. And you are of course invited. You are of course.
Well, we will let you all know, who is with us today, and we will organize. And last but not least, where we can find it, who is using it, it's, I think it's in European, chain.
Yes, yes, of course. So we have partners inside the European Union, dye mills, knitting mills, weaving mills, confectionists. So as I explained earlier, one of the main advantages is to shorten the ways, the transportation ways, and drastically cut down the carbon dioxide emissions, which is something that we really try to promote, the localization and support of the local economies, which is quite important, especially also nowadays.
Yeah, but many application is not just one thing, as the cotton use can go in different, areas of use.
Of course. Not just to the clothing or the underwear production, to the outerwear, and also some more, let's say, technical end uses that Varvaressos and Supreme Green Cotton have specifically designed to provide a combination of the nature's touch along with functionality, high functionality. This
is really very important. Thank you so much, Yannis.
Thank you very much, Giusy.
You have taken us through your word, and then now let's talk to Gabriele CAMOZZI, Head of Marketing, Albini Group. Gabriele, a long list of experiences, starting from, Albini, that you joined in 2010, and you also became training manager, visiting the most important customer globally, and took care of sales for Thomas Mason accessory lines, but then also a great experience with Pedrali, Italian design furniture company, Ratti, because I think you heard, the music of textile back. And then you came back to Albini in 2019, where you are currently the head of marketing group, basically. So in charge of leading the communication, merchandising, and digital project departments of the company. So really a lot to do, I think, and at the same time, challenges, moments, in the last 3 years. So you came back and you had to deal with a lot of things. But let's go back to the fact that we mentioned the importance of transparency in cotton and natural fiber, generally speaking. We know it's something really important. And it's important for natural fiber, and especially for the cotton for Albini Group. It has been always one of the main, let's say, conversation and, points and educational. So how Albini Group strategy is handling this super relevant value for consumer, but also for the market. Gabriele, welcome.
Thank you, Giusy, and thanks everybody for being here and for allowing us to be here to the class team. And thanks for the question. Definitely a good one, because it's exactly our core business. So when we're talking about natural, raw material, it's exactly our core business. During all the past probably 10 years, Albini really focused quite a lot on all the natural fiber and finding the best cotton all over the world. So ranging from Supima cotton in the US to the Sea Island cotton in Jamaica and Barbados, and then especially also talking about not just cotton but also like linen in Normandy, for instance, and then moving also to Egypt. In Egypt in 2010, we really started our real challenge in raw material part, where we basically started to control directly our own cotton fields over there together with local partners. It's from that moment going on that we really focus quite a lot on the whole supply chain directly on these materials. So not just the weaving part, not just finishing and let's call it the classical supply chain, but we're really fully vertically integrated from that moment on. And making a further step ahead, I would say the moment I was back in the company, as you were mentioning, it was at the end of 2018, and it was when we presented basically the first project that we did together with Oritain. For those of you who doesn't know Oritain, they are a New Zealand company. They were basically a startup at that time, and they control, thanks to forensic analysis, exactly where the cotton is coming from, where a raw material is coming from. And they can be very, very specific, even starting from the cotton fields, just to give you a rough idea. So from that moment on, we really started even to improve more and more all the relationship we have with our, basically we have with all our customers. So from the luxury brands, the premium brands, all the shirt makers, and offering them not just natural fibers, thanks to our fabrics, but offering more and more the most sustainable fabrics and most traceable fabric, which is also very, very important, as you know, especially nowadays when we're talking about like the origin, especially for the Xinjiang issue, or the fake goods coming from India in some cases. So nowadays, being natural from one side and then being traceable on the other side, which are two things that you mentioned in your question, are definitely crucial in this moment. So starting from 2018, we really started the big biofusion project, as we call it. And basically, what is biofusion? It's a scientifically traceable cotton. As I was mentioning, it's traced through forensic origin. So basically, starting with a sample, you can trace it back to even to the country of origin for sure, but even the field of origin. And we started this not alone, but thanks to the collaboration with Supima. You all know that they're very big and very, let's say, advanced in this path to sustainability. And nowadays, we are basically the biggest buyers of the Supima organic cotton. The road is quite clear from our side, is to push as much as possible towards a whole collection production in terms of organic cotton, which is quite a challenge for us because we are dealing with almost 10 million meters every year. So it's not that easy. But at the same time, that's something that has to be done in order to reduce the impact. And we truly believe in this. And we are not alone in doing this because all our customers, starting with the big luxury conglomerates, arriving up to the single tailor that you can find in a small city here in Italy, they're all with us and they're very focused on this. They are asking this. And thanks to our our idea to push as much as possible on the organic part, right now we are basically taking all the good things that are coming from this project. So we must say we're very satisfied, and being coherent with our strategy, it's paying off.
Well, I think you have also been working hard. You have a precise strategy, so it's not coming out of the blue. I mean,
definitely, and you also need, you also need a lot of investment behind it in terms of resources, in terms of money itself, of course, but also in terms of focus and keep being coherent with this.
Yeah, and I think this show once more, and that's why we put this panel together in this way, that there is never one single answer to a question of sustainability and transparency. You can choose, but in order to choose, you need to be informed. Because when you say cotton, you have said nothing. You have to go through the company that is producing it, is transforming it, because that's where, you know, the values lies. So it's really important. So how Albini Group is taking its natural ingredients, because we heard that it's not just about cotton, even if it's cotton, it's a little bit the king, you know, and positioning to the next level at the same time. What is the technology and R&D meeting your values? Because R&D is very strong inside Albini.
Definitely, yes, you got the point. Well, from the technology side, for instance, we already mentioned the partnership with Origin, which is one side when we're talking about cotton and the origin of cotton. Definitely, this is one of the most important part in terms of technology. When we are talking about R&D, I have to split it into. I'll answer to you splitting into my answer, because from one side we have what we basically call the R&D in terms of product. We have it inside our headquarters. Albini has always been very, very active in terms of R&D. We're talking about like 16,000 different articles when we're talking about fabrics every year. It means that we are talking about sustainability. We're talking about articles which are advanced in terms of performance, both for the finishing, the performance they may have starting with a yarn or something else, because, you know, basically controlling the whole supply chain allows you always to push quite a bit the limit in terms of R&D. And this is one part of the R&D. The other part that I would like to mention, which is also basically hitting the title of this panel, which is taking to the next level. We have Albini Next. Albini Next is an innovation hub which is placed in Chilometro Rosso. It's the innovation and technology park. It's our innovation hub, which is taking care of 3 research areas. Let's call them this way. One is more related to the innovative fiber and yarns. So basically over there, we have Georgia and all the other colleagues of mine that are taking care of finding the new material for the fabric of the future. So basically working directly on the fiber, on the yarns to see, for instance, how to recycle them, how to take the best out of them. Then there are another couple of research areas. One is green chemistry, which is basically everything which is around in terms of chemistry. It's related about the commitment in researching some solutions that are, of course, related to chemicals. For instance, try to imagine all the finishing parts on a fabric and so on, that have a minor environmental impact. And today it's definitely one of the most challenging area. And last but not least, because it's the one where we are most advanced in Albini Next in terms of research, it's the part of sustainable coloration. So it's not just about like chemical colors and that's it. So we're not just talking about reactive, industrial and so on, but we're really talking about taking from nature. So that's why taking it to the next level, taking from nature what we already have as natural dyeing, and then using it on our fabric in our normal industrialization of the supply chain. It's quite hard because it's not that easy. Of course, they have many limitations compared to the chemical one, but it is about using the best raw material we were talking about before. So like the organic cotton, we have organic and traceable cotton we have, for instance, from the US. And then having this sustainable coloration. Just to mention one, I would like to mention a specific project which we called Off the Grain. It's a project that we did together with Risogallo, which is the Italian company growing rice and also selling rice to a normal supermarket. If you know, like all the black rice, they boil it before selling it to the supermarket. And this boiling water is basically giving a water which is reddish, blackish. What we do, thanks to the research of Albini Next, is to take that water and using it to dye our fabric. So that's something about, it's a story about upcycling. It's a very great success stories that we started from the past couple of years of research, and again, bringing it to the next level, as you was mentioning before.
It's amazing, Gabriele, because a lot of time we hear, you know, these sort of paradigm between natural fibers and the synthetic fibers, where the synthetic has performance and the natural should be just natural and doing nothing. And it's not like that. It's not at all like this. It depends, you know, which are the companies again and which are the strategies. And now I think, despite, of course, the difficult times, no questions about it, but when you are into make you know, responsible innovation, so to innovate in order to take care about your impact, that's where even in natural you can find completely different games, completely different market, but also value, you know, for the consumer and for the market. And of course, this means anyway investment in terms of time, in terms of research, because you know, also the Chilometro Rosso is quite well known all over the world. It's in Italy, but it's the only dedicated to innovation at the highest level, not just in textile, as far as I know. So the fact that you are the only textile company there?
Yeah, at the moment, yes. And let's say our tagline is also called Textile Innovability for this, in terms of Chilometro Rosso. What we also have inside Chilometro Rosso for textile, it's ITEMA, which basically they are located quite close to our headquarters as well. And they provide to us all the technology solution in terms of weaving. So all the looms, we also work together with them on some of these things. But generally speaking, we are the two textile company inside. And then anything else, it's more related to mechatronics, all the braking system for Brembo and all this kind of stuff. But it's also useful to be there because basically you also have a kind of cross-fertilization between all the different industries.
Sure. Networking, yeah.
Exactly. This is the real core and pro of being there, and not just being inside our headquarters. They are outside. There is a dedicated team over there, really to be fully dedicated to the disruptive R&D. Let's make it this way.
Amazing, and congratulations, because that is taking really a lot of efforts at any level. And if people think that cotton is a natural fiber, and it is, but the Albini cotton is something different because it's coming out from all the things that Gabriele shared with us today. So thank you, Gabriele. And this, you know, conversation led me to another, you know, natural field, but with a lot of innovation. Welcome, Stefano Babbini, CEO at SQIM, technology holding of MOGU and EPHEA. You know, he's an environmental engineer, business developer, entrepreneur, investor, active in the clean tech and bioeconomy sector since 2005. So a long time ago, Stefano. 15-year experience with the aim of developing innovative products from a natural technology following the principle of circular economy. He founded MOGU in Italy, so, and employing the, you know, famous mycelium or fungi roots through natural processes. The company is developing and producing innovative and sustainable materials dedicated to the valuable markets. So Stefano, welcome, and thanks to be here with us. We talk about, you know, taking nature to the next level. And I think, you know, with EPHEA and with you, it's really another step. You know, everybody at the moment is talking about mushroom, fungi at any level, mycelium. We heard about new business model involving brand to support new generation of technology. But can you tell us a little bit about you, you know? You look to be the only company able to introduce a new generation of products also commercially, you know, apart from the, you know, story, because there are at least 10, 15 companies that is talking about mycelium at the moment. Stefano, welcome.
Thanks for the kind invitation. And well, it's true, a lot of fuzz and buzz over there, a lot of brands announcing collaborations and probably product launch. Well, our positioning, at least our approach, has been different. First of all, EPHEA, which is the name of our mycelium leather alternative, has been developed in the last 7-8 years. So it's not something really out of the blue. So news, at least for us. It's the result of a long path, and this is normal because our job is a complex job. We employ mycelium biofabrication technique in order to deliver new materials and finally new products. And well, our approach has been always very practical and really concrete. We focused since the beginning on the technology, on the technical results, in order to have first a raw material that was homogeneous and performative enough in order to be post-treated by the tanneries, or at least by those companies able to transform and post-process such raw material as a hive forager, basically. And we achieved a great result collaborating with a few tanneries and few industrial partners. And we most probably we are not the most famous in the mycelium leather alternative, because we didn't invest so much in the communication and marketing, which is very important as well. But first of all, we felt the need to deliver something, and this is what we need to do, and what we achieved 3 months ago, collaborating with the Caring Group, and finally launching together with Balenciaga at that time. Well, first of all, so our approach has been different from this point of view, very, very concrete, and looking at the quality first. Then we have been also very lucky because we have a specific geography that is supporting and helping our job. We are based in Italy and in Europe, most important. We are not really far from let's say, textile and leather supply and value chain, which is mostly based in Europe, and it's important to also to remember also the fact that in Italy we produce about 20% of the animal leather, so we have a special expertise. There is a very important industry here, and we collaborate with such industry. So sometimes we see posts and or articles where basically company working in the leather alternative, sustainable leather alternative, or something should be similar to that, are claiming to be against the animal leather industry mostly for sustainability reason. This is not our approach. We don't feel this need. On the opposite, we collaborate with the existing industry, hoping that we can propose something new in order to valorize their expertise. And this is already happening with few industrial partners. And we hope that in future we will expand such collaboration. So this is how we work. And I believe that up to date, we got concrete results. And we also observe that the brands that are approaching SQIM in these days are really appreciating this practical approach.
That is really important. And can you share, we know that we cannot go into the secrets of production because it's something that is counting a lot at the moment, but can you share a little bit the EPHEA product, you know, as a whole? And also a little bit of the recent launch with Balenciaga, but also the one that you already done some time ago in interior, because, you know, it's not just the EPHEA today that, you know, is based on mycelium and, you know, on the sustainable coming from this, you know, natural material source.
Well, yes, SQIM is the evolution of MOGU. MOGU is a mycelium company that has been developing and even commercializing the first mycelium products in the interior design since a few years now. I guess we have been the first in the market selling high-end products. So we also accumulate a certain know-how now to valorize the technology and finally a product from that, and creating a brand and doing all the job dedicated to the market. So today we are using such expertise in order to valorize also our new generation of materials, which is basically EPHEA. Well, again, the result has been the launch with Balenciaga, and I really like to highlight the fact that such launch hasn't been for marketing purpose or reason, but it's really practical. I mean, it's commercial. So today we are selling our materials to them, and they are selling products from our materials. So even small scale, this is a surprise, but we are in the market. So we are doing something that is already commercial. And I believe we are the only one over there, as far as I know. And I could be wrong. And this is a big achievement, but it starts from a long path. I like to also to stress the fact that our process is quite different from the one of our competitors. We have a specific IP, so we protect our intellectual property and also our genetic, which is part of it. And we do all the job in-house. So it means that we are not just developing a fermentation technique, but we also implemented a small production facility. And so we control all the process till the raw material, then we collaborate for the post-processing. The post-processing is very simple, and it's of course it's less pollutant and much more sustainable, because it's more simple and shorter than the animal leather tanning. And basically the final material is something that is the mycelium matrix without what is not needed, but plus with what is needed in order to perform better. So it's like the animal leather. It's not so different. During the tanning steps, you have to clean it and then you have to enrich it, and following the request of the brands. So the job is really hand-to-hand with the brands, and they are the one deciding, of course, about the final aesthetic and the performance and so on. And we have to match such expectations, and this is the main job and also the main challenge.
And can you maybe change the slide, because we know that you have a beautiful one about the garment itself, and here we can see how, things are not, as you said very rightly, Stefano, it's not going against the leather or for the leather, but to complete the picture, because I think we are enriching the possibility to source in different ways with different look and touch, because I think, we are here to find also new alternative. But always in a very, as you said from the beginning, in a very transparent, but also, authentic way and concrete, because we have heard a lot of stories. We have learned about many materials, but we have not yet seen something commercial around it. But this Balenciaga, Autumn Winter 22 is already in the market, correct?
Sure, correct. I can confirm it.
And also the furnishing part. All the panels that you did that has performances as well, like the fact that you do not hear noises, and, it's really active performances.
Yeah, sure. Our all products are absolutely designed to be performative, and finally they are, and they are also certified. And being in a real fashion show with Balenciaga with a commercial product, it means that, of course, we are already matching with all the performances that they need in order to achieve the durability and, of course, the aesthetic and touch and feel and all the main the parameters that are suitable for such a market segment that is really picky.
Thank you very much, Stefano. We will be touching base again, because this is just a journey, I think, also in the communication, because as you said, you want to be concrete and you want to be authentic. So it's not about sensationalism, but it's about the step that you do in the market. And that's, for us, is really great. Thank you so much, Stefano.
Thanks again.
And now let's go to a next level where we have, really pleased to be with Christine Goulet, Global Director of PANGAIA Science. Christine, she's the Global Director of PANGAIA Science. PANGAIA recently launched B2B business. Christine focuses on driving a transition to an earth-positive future through disseminating cutting-edge material science technology to brand and suppliers. So we are on both sides, Christine. I think you were in your past, you were head of sustainable innovation at Kering and worked with Inshed in the Center for Entrepreneurship. And she's also helped the B2B business Idun Live you remind me a fantastic period, Christine. I remember like it was yesterday, Edun, inspiration,
yes,
force, energy, and all the energy around all the communication, that we had also the YouTube music, all these kind of things.
That's great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so, welcome, Christine. Pangaea is one of the most successful brands leading a new way to go to the market, basically, where natural materials and technologies are going hand by hand. Can you share your business model that has in the center new generation of natural materials and technologies?
Yes, thank you, Giusy. And I'm sorry, because I'm about to get on the Eurostar, so you might hear an announcement behind me there. So apologies.
That's real life. Right?
Now all of a sudden. But thank you for having me. It's a great event, and nice to see MOGU and Albini and Yannis the Supreme Cotton, because, well, in my past at Caring, obviously there's I know MOGU well, and also the Ortain Albini, yes, the Ortain Albini Traceability project too was something from that period when I was at Caring. So, but yeah, now I'm at Pangaea, which you guys probably have heard of, but I'm going to tell you, as Giusy was saying, a little bit more about the B2B side of the business. I talk about often how it's not only the innovative materials we're looking at and using, but the business model itself is quite innovative. So here you can see, as you know, there's a direct-to-consumer brand called Pangaea, and we actually don't even call ourselves a brand. We say we're a material science company or collective. We don't talk about sustainability because we know it's a journey, and it's about doing work as responsibly as we can. But the vision behind Pangaea was really to try to inspire and accelerate to an Earth positive future by focusing on material sciences and really trying to launch as quickly as possible more innovations and technologies all the time. So recently, we started the B2B side of the business, which we're calling the Innovation Concierge, and it's PANGAIA Science B2B. And what makes this innovative as well is it's really trying to put together a lot of the pieces of the puzzle to reduce that friction that brands and supply chain partners have in adopting these new technologies. So I'm very familiar being on the Caring side. There might be something stupid like, okay, the NDA, and how do we make sure that this all gets signed? And then there's the samples, and what was it, and who has it? It's just like, how can we kind of put everything together to make sure that we're doing the performance testing, the impact testing, we're representing startups or working with them in a way where we can provide a portfolio of technologies to other brands in a way that's more of a turnkey solution. So if you want to go to the next slide, Camilla. So in our material science portfolio at the moment, we have a number of materials, fabrics, dyes, treatments. Our hero technology is flower down, which is a patented high-performing alternative to animal down and petroleum-based down. So it's made from wildflowers in a biopolymer called PLA. And this was done in collaboration with these amazing scientists in Italy called Grado Zero. And when I was talking about the innovative business model, just to go back to that, I think because Pangaea is very focused on material sciences, it means that a lot of our resources are going toward that. So we have almost 20 people on our R&D team internally at Pangaea, and for a company of fewer than 200 people, that's quite a big chunk. And then we have our impact team, which has done LCAs, full LCAs with a third party called Green Story on most of our key materials, and continues to do that on an annual basis, get more and more materials and products into the LCA roadmap. And then we have really close partnerships with Grado Zero, who developed the flower down, as well as with a fabric mill and dye house in Portugal called RDD Textiles. And so with RDD, we've developed over 100 fabrics in our portfolio. We have GOTS and GRS certified fabrics. We're trying to diversify that fiber basket by using nettle and hemp and bamboo and agri waste like banana and pineapple leaf, in addition to cotton. In fact, we would love to move toward a lot of these types of alternative, agri waste materials, in addition to looking at rock cotton, for example, regenerative organic certified. And one thing that's, I think, really important as well when we're talking about today, the theme today is we talk about high-tech naturalism at Pangaea. So nature is the best innovator, and how can we take some of the best modern technology to try to enhance those performance capabilities, but always looking to nature first as you know, the key to all of this. We also have low impact dyes, inks, and treatments. So RDD Textiles was the first mill to commercialize colorifics, which you might know, which is the bacteria-based dye technology. So they're actually like the bioreactors at RDD. And then other dyes like air ink, which I can also show a slide on in a minute, which is a carbon capture-based dye. Nature coatings, which is a FSC certified tree waste dye, and treatments like peppermint, which is an anti-odor treatment using peppermint instead of using silver or zinc, which is usually what's in antimicrobial anti-odor treatments, which can then leach into the environment. So this is part of the offering. We're expanding it all the time by working with different partners. We have also denim with containing nettle from Candiani in Italy. We have denim with hemp in it from Orta in Turkey. So with our supply chain partners that we're working with, as well as the different innovators, we want to continue to build out this portfolio and really get these amazing fabrics, dyes, technologies out to the market. And when we work with companies or brands or supply chain brands, usually, you know, we can either sell them the technology itself. So if they want to try the air ink, we could just ship the ink to their dye house to try it. They can buy the fabric and we, you know, send it to their garment manufacturer. We can also bring it through to final product and do that manufacturing in Portugal. Maybe if you go to the next slide, Camila. Okay, we can skip through these a little bit, but it's just to really show how Pangaea has resonated with the public. It's sort of at this intersection of design, purpose, and technology, but we always try to lead with the product and make the product really desirable. You can, growing following. Next one. So here I just want to focus a little bit on a couple of different, we haven't done collaborations with brands, but we work a lot with artists or NGOs. But here you can see we did do a launch with Unspun. So this is like a technology where you can do custom made jeans on demand. So we did a Pangaea X Unspun launch, and we also, you can see here the Air Ink launch with Pangaea. So that again is the pollution-based ink. So it's a carbon capture black ink that you can use for screen printing. And the next one, Camila. And then through Pangaea Lab, this is really where we take innovations that might not be on a huge scale for the moment, but we still want to get them out. We want to do smaller runs, and we want to show, again, be that proof point on the market that we can and should be using these technologies and getting them out there. So we did a Pangaea Colorifics launch. We also did a launch with 12, which is a carbon capture technology, and the eyeglass lenses were made out of the 12 carbon capture technology. And so we do these periodically. Our most recent one was with Infinited Fiber Company, where we had the Infinite T. So Infinited Fiber is a chemical recycler. So we had, I think it was the first 100% Infina, which is the trademark of their material. So 100% post-consumer recycled, chemically recycled t-shirt on the market.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You can breathe a little bit, so much.
Yeah. And the next slide, Camila. So this is just to kind of show what the pillars are, our R&D pillars, and how that kind of guides the innovations that we're looking to scout and test and use. You know, and every time we do an R&D concept, we want to create something, it's always vetted by the impact team, because ideally everything we put out, we want it to be better for the planet than if it didn't exist, which is quite a high bar. And you can see underlying this, the testing, transparency, education are sort of these transverse across all of them, but really key to all of this. So maybe I'll stop there, because I know we want to leave time for questions. I think those were the main points. Thank you, Camila, for moving the slides.
Well, it's great. You know, I think it's really a new business model, but it's also a new model for, you know, innovating. You know, it's a push and pull. You are an ambassador for materials, yarn, technologies. It's all together in order to open it to all the market. And at the same time, you are working with specific partners to deliver it. So I will, you know, close the conversation with you about, if you want maybe to highlight one of the most recent launch that you are really I'm sure that you are proud about all your babies, of course. I'm not going to ask, that's the typical question that people is also doing to me, which is the best one? There is no best one, each one has a role, but something that, it's maybe more recent or more difficult that you are, you want to share with us today in a nutshell.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I can't take that much credit because I've only been at the company for a year as well, but to me, it's all of it. It's just the focus and the passion and saying we need to get these out to the market that I think I'm the most taken with. It's really like this drive that everybody has to show that we can use these, we can get the performance testing we need. So, I mentioned Infinited and Colorifics and everything. I mean, they're all amazing. We have many more kind of in the pipeline that will be announced over time. So you'll be able to follow those if you want. But it's more the whole idea of how we can make this happen that I find really inspiring.
It's a new generation of community. So really congratulations, because I'm really, really proud today because, we went through a very, small, but at the same time is so big because we can do so many things starting from natural, and I'm sure that a lot of people is going to be really surprised because when you say natural, people is thinking to something that has nothing to do with what you are doing, that you represent, to the next level. And I think also in communication, we need to start talking, with this new language. So first of all, thank you very much, because it has to be quick because we do not have a lot of time and there are so many talks around, and that's why we register them, we put on the website, because it's important to keep assessing. But I also leave because I saw that there are questions, Camilla, I think.
Yes.
So maybe
absolutely.
we can dedicate some time to them.
Absolutely. We can start with one from Yannis. So hi, Yannis. Thank you for sharing about the brand here. Question: the knitting and weaving is also done all in Greece. Is the cotton its natural color, or does the cotton go through a process of whitening?
Thank you very much for the question. So knitting and weaving can also be done in Greece, not just in Greece, but in several countries, but only inside the European Union. Everybody that is participating in Supreme Green Cotton is an accredited member. And for the second part, yes, the cotton, of course, it comes in its natural color, and the yarn is spun from cotton produced in its natural color. Then afterwards, there are several solutions, to dye the fabrics, and we also have solutions that are natural dye-based.
Generally speaking, the Supreme Good Cotton start with a natural color, meaning no color is a great one. And then your partners at fabric level, at yarn level, sometimes can also do solutions, but from Varvaressos, the solution is the great one.
Only mechanical processing, zero chemical processing in our premises at Varvaressos.
Thank you, Yannis.
Then we have a question. Who is the Swedish brand deleting the cotton?
I have a problem to understand.
Maybe the person that made the question can support us. And in the meanwhile, we can go to the next one. Oh, she's connecting. Okay.
Yeah, no, I was asking.
We cannot hear you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. Hi, Liat. Nice to meet you all. Thank you so much for having this space to share. So I was noticing, I heard that Gabriele was talking, Gabriele CAMOZZI. He was sharing that there was a brand or some sort of brand, maybe it wasn't Swedish, but a brand that was connecting, that was delegating the cotton. That's what I was hearing him say, that there was a specific company that delegates the cotton and then it distributes it into the country. So I was just curious who was the brand itself.
It's not exactly that it's like putting it together and then distributing. Basically, ourselves, we control directly the whole supply chain as Albini. So we have a company inside the group which is called ICA, it's Ecotoni di Albini, and basically they're taking care of all these developments related to the cotton. So they were the one to have the idea to go through with Kering and Orica, starting with this. And then still today, they are the company that they're basically buying the cotton and sourcing the cotton for Albini as a core business. But basically, they are the company inside the group. They were founded in 2012, starting exclusively in creating sourcing the cotton for the group. Right now, since 2017, ICA is also selling directly the yarns. Of course, not to people creating fabrics, because otherwise it's our competitors, so it doesn't make any sense, but to knitters. So for instance, if someone is a knitter, can buy the yarn directly from ICA, which is basically the same cotton that we are using for the fabric of Albini. I don't know if I answer to your question. Good.
Okay, so we go to the next one. I think Yannis mentioned traceability through blockchain technology. If this is the case, is there any regard to digital sustainability that is at the forefront of the conversation these days?
Yeah, this is a great question, and we would need, I think, 1 or 2 hours more to elaborate on this matter. Yeah, for sure. Digital sustainability, of course, is at the forefront, and especially blockchain technology, because at the moment, this is one of the best ways, you know, to secure, to be able to secure supply chains, because what very, very quickly and simply put, what the blockchain does is that you have a ledger, which is a central ledger where information is stored, and then if anyone from the supply chain tries, you know, to go inside there and change information and alter some data, then blockchain makes sure that actually they cannot do it. Everybody else that is participating on the blockchain is informed, and it is invalidated. Very, very simply put, because we actually do need a lot of time to elaborate in this issue. But of course, it's rising a lot, and I'm sure that we're going to see also in the future some more solutions based on blockchain. Thank you.
Thank you.
Then, do you think it's possible to obtain a mycelium alternative that does not include PU, so fully biodegradable?
I guess this one is for me.
Yeah,
yes.
I assume so.
Mycelium is your.
And this is from Silvia, Charles Silvia. So, well, yes, it's possible. Pretty much depends on the request coming from the brands. The brands are the one deciding about the finishing, so touch and feel, and the performance. So the finishing and the coating in general depends on the specific request, but it's possible, and we also have samples and final products that are without such solution. Then you should also ask what about the quality of such coating, because the PU which is in general is the main responsible, at least appointed as to be the main responsible for the lack of sustainability. In reality, there are different solutions for coating, or could be even bio coating, and we already got nice results. I guess this is a process, and it's not a process only related to the material itself, but it's also a process in the market, considering something that has to be digested by the brands and the manufacturer. In the case you want a long-lasting product or short life product, considering the fact that even biodegradability is a concept that has to be assessed carefully, because there is a lot of confusion about such definition, biodegradability, compostability, industrial compostability. I mean, this is something that has to be evaluated carefully, but in general, my answer is yes, it's possible. It depends on the request.
Okay, thank you so much, Stefano. Now for Christine. Pangaea is a company that also works with external clients, providing services to make their own products.
Yeah, so that is one thing that we're getting a lot of requests on, is sort of doing R&D based projects. And we are working with a couple of brands on sort of either developing certain types of fabrics or testing testing innovations on their fabrics. So there is more and more of demand around sort of how we could support on R&D. So that is a possibility as well.
Thank you so much. Then again for Yannis, what's the natural color of the cotton grown? White, as cotton comes in many colors from the seed, do you grow and provide the colors green, cream?
As Giusy said before, the main natural color of cotton is grayish, is not exactly white, not cream, not beige. And it also widely depends on the ground and the water, so it can have several shades, let's say, of grayish, or it can be more gray or more cream or more beige. This depends on several factors, but no, the color of the cotton that is grown in Greece and based on the climate and the soil and all the other factors that play a small part in this regard. This is a grayish color, a typical grayish color. It is quite actually more on the whiter side than on the yellow side, let's say, that some cottons are going to, but yeah, it's
Thank you.
Thank you for the question.
Thank you, Yannis. Gabriele, do you want to add something about these, color of the grayish color of the cotton? Because we are talking about a natural fiber.
Yeah, definitely. In this moment, we are also, of course, all the cotton resource, it's exactly the grayish one, as Yannis was explaining right now. We are also doing some tests in order to understand exactly how to deal with it. But basically, usually, even with the sustainable coloration that we are using with Albini Next, for instance, something I didn't mention, we are also basically using from oxidation. We are taking some coloration coming from the oxide ferrous material, so the iron part. And also in this case, you can use it on yarn dyed, you can use it on piece dyed, but not exactly directly on the cotton, as it's more done, for instance, on wool. Some other cases of wool, for instance, where they color the top and so on, that's something that they do directly. Usually what we do is just use the grayish cotton as it is, and then coloring later on.
Thank you, Gabriele. And I think we are at the end of this very interesting session also for me. So grazie Gabriele, grazie Stefano, Yannis e Christine. Really, really, thanks a lot for your time. I know it's not easy. And, first of all, about sharing your knowledge, for class, sharing is caring. So keep in touch, and thank you again, and see you really soon. And thank you to all the people that was with us to listen to these amazing stories, because, knowledge is a two-way side. So, and thank you also for all the questions. Grazie. Have a good day.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Ciao, bye. Thank you.
Ciao.